Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. It's running the world on smarter energy. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
Adobe Acrobat Studio, so brand new. Show me all the things PDFs can do.
Do your work with ease and speed.
PDF Spaces is all you need.
Do hours of research in an instant.
With key insights from an AI assistant.
Pick a template with a click.
Now your prezzo looks super slick.
Close that deal? Yeah, you won.
Do that, doing that, did that, done. Now you can do that with Acrobat. Now you can do that
with the all-new Acrobat. It's time to do your best work with the all-new Adobe Acrobat Studio.
Welcome to the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast. I'm Stephen Rothberg, the founder of College Recruiter job search site. At College Recruiter, we believe that every student and recent grad deserves a great career.
And I'm Peter Zollman, founding principal of the AIM Group, the leading global business intelligence service for marketplaces and classified advertising companies. We consult with recruitment marketplaces companies and publish AIM Group recruitment intelligence and a free weekly digest. We also host the annual Global RecBuzz conference.
This is the podcast for you to learn more about how to create, manage, and work with general, niche, and aggregator job boards and recruitment marketplaces. Today's guest is Andrew Stetsensko, the Chief Relocation Officer for Relocate Me. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Hi, Stephen. Thank you so much for having me.
It is a pleasure, and I so appreciate you joining us today on what is definitely going to be a really important episode. Before we get into why it's so important, take a minute or two and tell the listeners a little bit about your background. Who's Andrew?
Yeah, well, sure, Stephen. I'm the founder of Relocate.me. This is the tech job board for IT professionals around the world who are willing to relocate. And actually, my background, I'm also an engineer, more like a civil engineer, but I started my career as a tester. And then probably around 12 years ago, I switched completely to recruitment.
My understanding is that Relocate Me is about 100,000 user strong niche job board for tech roles with relocation. Before the war, what percentage of those were Ukrainians looking to relocate versus residents of other countries, and how has that changed?
Thanks, Peter, for your question. Actually, among these 100,000 users, and right now probably even more, we have over 120 nationalities around the world. So it's really diverse in terms of geography of our users. And I can't say that the audience of Ukrainian users have significantly changed in any other direction, or either increase or decrease. Since the war started almost a year ago. And based on the data that we have, probably Ukraine was country number 8 or 9 from the top 10 countries that we have users from.
Interesting. So, Andrew, is the revenue model for Relocate Me typical for a job board, meaning that employers pay to advertise their job openings, search the CV or resume database? Does it work like that?
Yeah, absolutely. We are completely driven. The revenue is completely driven by the employers who are placing their job ads. The website and all the content, all the services are completely free for the job seekers. And actually, right now, we're planning also to pilot with a few job seeker boot camps for our candidates. They also will be free, but the goal is just to support job seekers from around the world with the better preparation for their job hunt.
So they'll go through a boot camp, get a certification, and then that'll help you better place them or for them to be of better interest to the employers?
Kind of. It will be the more specialized groups of some technologies like Java cohort or DevOps cohort, etc. So then in having this specialization for the group of users, it will be gathered to also pre-select the employers for them, as well as support them with making their resumes, pathing the interviews, matching the cultural differences if you apply overseas. So all this stuff together.
Obviously, this is a very difficult time for Ukraine. Russia first invaded Ukraine about 9 years ago in 2014 when it captured and later annexed Crimea and some of the territory in the eastern provinces. A year ago, Russia again invaded, and this time it's trying to take the whole country or destroy whatever is there. How has that impacted Relocate Me and the work you're personally doing on a daily basis?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Peter. Actually, yeah, when we call it like the big war started like in on the 24th of February 2022, it was a great chaotic inside our team because actually no one didn't know what will happen next. So definitely, like probably the first week, all of our Ukrainian team members were completely shocked and unprepared. But later on, actually, yeah, we're managed to arrange the workplaces for all of our employees. Safety first questions were kind of really important that time. And based on my experience, I started heavily involved in the volunteering probably since the first days of the war. So during the day, I was mostly volunteering, but still I have some nighttime where I spend more for work and business related topics.
And yeah, let's talk if we can about that volunteering. You and I really connected little less than a year ago, last spring, and we worked together. I think it took a few weeks to kind of figure things out, but
Right.
to worked with GoFundMe, we had to figure out what the rules were. Everything was very fluid. It was changing all the time with what countries GoFundMe would work with, what they wouldn't, what they would allow fundraisers for, what they wouldn't. I think you had another GoFundMe with a friend or something in if I remember correctly, in the Netherlands. But we wanted to create, and we were able to, a GoFundMe that would make it safe and easy for those who wanted to donate to support your humanitarian efforts. And by the way, for the listeners who want to participate in that, if they go to www2, the number two, www.collegerecruiter.com/Ukraine. That's the GoFundMe that we're referencing. But once we got that set up last spring, over the couple of months, you then were able to use the funds from that and other sources to purchase humanitarian supplies. Maybe you can tell the listeners about the foundation you created, the funds that come from GoFundMe, the kinds of humanitarian supplies that you've been buying. Like, how does that all work? Like, where do you get them from, and who do you get them to?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I'm incredibly grateful to everyone who has contributed to our Steven's GoFundMe page, and all your donations and your kind of generosities is going towards a very worthwhile cause, I would say. And the idea of the getting the donations started also with my LinkedIn posts, and actually LinkedIn was and still is my main tool for fundraising. And it started just with the text message where I shared with my audience there that, yeah, it seems like I want to start volunteering and start to collect funds to support Ukrainian citizens. And I received so many positive feedback and suggestions how to get started. And I guess the ball started to roll since the time. So actually, I just spread the word about my intentions first on LinkedIn. And then I got, as I said, like tons of feedback and helpful advices. And then the thing started. Actually, in terms of the nations, where they're going, at the beginning of the war, there were a huge lack of almost everything. It started even from the diapers, especially on the eastern part of Europe, where the supply was and logistic was completely broken. Medicine, etc., like some even some stuff for the hospitals. So at the beginning of the war, it was really reactive to find the hospitals or the Kindle shelters or anything what we can find, and then to deliver help either physically. So we had a bus that we go towards them, or just if it's on the far distances, we just use the postal services that send it. And probably after summer, I clearly realized that the focus should be for the winter and warm clothing, especially for the thermal clothing, especially for the sleeping bags, for the sleeping mats, all the equipment that could heat you, the warmers for your toes, for your fingers, the hats, buffs, etc. Because also there were a lot of concerns about the problems with the heating system, with the electricity during the winter time. And actually, yeah, since the winter started, this was some problems with the electricity, with the heating. So I guess that was the really good cause, and actually a matter of time to focus on the warm clothing. That's currently our focus for this month. And for the next months, we'll see. Usually I just, speak to a lot of other volunteers and to other people to get the real demand. And the demand is changing like almost every month. So I don't even know what could be in March or April. We'll see, but I'll definitely will keep our GoFundMe page updated with the new request and what we are currently working on.
Yeah, and Andrew's been great. Periodically he'll send me 3, 4, 5 photographs of himself, the supplies, his overloaded minivan that his family probably is usually in. But it gives people outside of Ukraine a little bit of a peek into the work that you're doing. We'll be back right after this break.
This is William Tincup, and I'd like to direct you to a wonderful limited series podcast that Ryan and I recorded live at the ERE Recruiting Innovation Summit. We sat down with 20 recruiting and TA leaders from around the world to hear what today's best recruiters are doing to stay sharp, stay relevant, and stay ahead. It's called The Talent Shift. You'll love it. You'll find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Listen, like, review, share. Do you?
Welcome back to the Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces podcast. From a practical standpoint, I remember very early on, and this is probably June or so of last year, what you were doing, if I remember correctly, is driving to a border crossing, and then you would pick up because men of basically fighting age, right? Like 18 to 55 or something, or not allowed to leave Ukraine. So you could go to a border crossing, pick up supplies, and then drive them to, Kyiv or wherever it was that you were going. Is that still the process?
No, actually, but you're absolutely right. At the beginning of the war, a lot of foreigners were afraid, to go inside the Ukraine because of the uncertainty. Then the only way was to come to the border on the Ukrainian side, then to wait for our partners and our NGO friends that will bring. So they literally cross the Romanian border, then they stop on the Ukrainian border. We'll just unload the donation from their bus, bring to our bus, and then we go to the places where we can deliver. Or as I said, because the Ukraine is a pretty big country, we also use the post services quite intensively to send it to really far locations. It could be even 1,000 kilometers from us. And right now, actually, the situation with the logistics are much better, as well as there is still more safer and predictable situation in Ukraine. So more foreign NGOs and volunteers could easily come right now, especially to the western part. So that's not the case anymore to coming to the border. But it was extremely true when probably the first 3 or 4 months.
Okay, yeah, and just referencing something you said a little bit earlier too, that you don't know what's going to be happening, what supplies, et cetera, will be happening in the next month or so, month, 2 months, 3 months. I've done some volunteering work with humanitarian responses, and what you're saying is so true. For those who haven't been involved in it, the needs change dramatically day to day. If there's a hurricane, chainsaws are what you need the first week, and the second week you need cleaning supplies, and the third week you need beds, or whatever. And I'm sure it's very similar on your end, from medical supplies like tourniquets, which literally are life-saving devices and cost almost nothing, compared to what they can do. Bottled water, I'm guessing, is probably not a big deal anymore. But in the first days of the war, literally probably saved thousands of lives, just being able to have access to clean drinking water when people were being evacuated. So the again, the GoFundMe, for those who like to donate, what happens is you can go to GoFundMe. The funds get transferred to me because I'm in the U.S., and so GoFundMe is willing to work with me. Thank you, folks at GoFundMe. But that's at www.collegerecruiter.com/Ukraine. Those funds tend to hit my account in 2 to 3 business days. And then usually the same day or the next day, I then send them to Andrew via PayPal, because our friends at PayPal are willing to work with Andrew and others in Ukraine and some other countries. So it takes an extra step and takes an extra 2 days or so. But if you donate on Monday, then he's able to use those funds by the end of the week to buy humanitarian supplies and then be delivering them, which, Andrew, at some point you're going to have to sit down, take a breath, and realize that you personally have saved, it's got to be hundreds, maybe thousands of lives, and it's just remarkable. So Peter, as we're leaving off,
I just wanted to point out that you have raised more than $30,000 through the GoFundMe, which now has a $35,000 goal. I hope that by the end of this podcast, or within a day afterwards, we'll exceed the 30, because it's not me. We've made some contributions, but it's your work, and more importantly, Andrew's. I hope by the end of the next day or two, we will see you exceed that $35,000 goal, and then you'll have to raise the goal to $50,000 because if you reach a goal like that, the only thing to do is to raise the goal. And we hope eventually that the humanitarian aid goes not towards immediate needs of day to day, but toward rebuilding and resuming normal life in an era of peace and stability, whenever that comes, sooner rather than later, ideally. So, Andrew, for listeners who want to get in touch with you personally and directly, how can they do that? And then we'll give the URL for the fundraiser one more time. And it's really remarkable what you're able to do. And we heard from Jubal about how they're keeping their business going. Now we've heard how you're keeping going. It's not an easy time to keep anything going, but good for you. And we hope the funds that Stephen is raising will help you even more. So how do they get in touch with you? Then we'll give the URL one more time and we'll wrap up.
Yeah, thank you so much, Peter, for the warm words. Definitely, I'm very active on LinkedIn. Probably this is the number one place where you can find me. You just type Andrew Stetsenko, Stetsenko. And then you can definitely, I'll pop up somewhere, or my content or my page, and happy to connect, happy to discuss any mutual opportunities, partnerships. So definitely feel free to message me, and I'm quite active and reply probably within 24 hours to every single request.
So for those who want to reach Andrew, again, on LinkedIn, Andrew Stetsenko of Relocate Me. If you're an employer and you're looking for some of the world's best tech talent, that is definitely the guy that you're going to want to reach out to, whether it's tech talent in Ukraine, whether they're in the UK, France, Australia, really anywhere in the world. He is helping those people connect with some of the world's greatest employers. The URL for the GoFundMe, www.collegerecruiter.com/Ukraine. And for the listeners, thank you very much. Andrew, Peter, it has been a pleasure.
Thank you, guys. And best wishes to you in Ukraine.
Likewise. Thank you so much, Stephen, Peter. And hope everything will end very, very soon.
Inside Job Boards and Recruitment Marketplaces is a co-production of Evergreen Podcasts, College Recruiter, and the AIM Group.
Please subscribe for free on your favorite app. Review it. 5 stars are always nice. And recommend it to a couple of people you know who want to learn more about job boards and recruitment marketplaces.
Special thanks to our producer and engineer, Ian Douglas. I'm your host, Peter Zollman of the AIM Group, the leading global consultancy in the field of marketplaces and classified advertising. Find out more about our reports on recruitment marketplaces, job boards, and classifieds, including our new Recruitment Marketplaces Annual, at aimgroup.com/reports.
I'm your host, Stephen Rothberg, of job search site College Recruiter. Each year, we help more than 12 million candidates find great new jobs. Our customers are primarily Fortune 1000 companies, government agencies, and other employers who hire at scale and advertise their jobs with us. You can reach me at stephen@collegerecruiter.com.